word of the day is mental exhaustion. Mental exhaustion is a feeling of extreme tiredness. A feeling of extreme tiredness characterized by other feelings, including apathy, which means you don't want to do anything, cynicism, which means you always think somebody got a hidden agenda, you don't trust anybody, you don't trust anything, or irritability, which means you're very irritable, very angry, cranky, those types of things. This talk is for educational purposes only, and it's not a substitute for professional guidance, advice, treatment, or diagnosis. If you or someone you know is experiencing a mental health crisis, substance use, or abuse, or suicidal thoughts, dial 988-988 is available 24/7 nationwide and staffed by trained, crisis counselors with just a text or call away. 10 signs your mental health is getting worse, 1 through 5. Have you been wondering if your mental health is possibly getting worse? Mental health, just like physical health, affects everyone, whether you are suffering from a mental illness or not. Your mental and emotional health can fluctuate, which means it goes up and down from time to time, depending on the stresses going on in your life. So it's always a good idea to check in with yourself and try to examine the direction your mental health is going in. You're losing interest in the little things. 10 signs your mental health is getting worse. At this stage, your favorite activities suddenly seem dull to you. If you started to lose excitement for life's little things, then this is a sign that your mental health might not be at its best. You might be feeling this way because of an overload of stress in your life, or you're feeling overwhelmed with all of your responsibilities and to-do lists. When we lose interest and don't enjoy the hobbies and activities that we once did, this could also be a warning sign of depression. If you think this could be what's happening to you, know that you aren't alone and that help is just around the corner. Talk with a trusted friend or a family member or a mental health professional to get the help you need to navigate these troubling times. 10 signs your mental health is getting worse, 1 through 5. Number 2, you get overwhelmed easier. At this stage, you find yourself getting overwhelmed more often than normal. To help cope with this overwhelming feeling, you can journal. That's an outlet, man. Writing. Get it out, man. Get you a little piece of paper, man, and write it all down. If you got to write all capital letters, write it down, man, and then ball it up and throw it away. Because sometimes you just got to get it out. You need to meditate or practice breathing exercises. Number 3, you don't feel like socializing that much anymore. At this stage, it's more exhausting to interact with others, regardless of whether you're an introvert or extrovert. Y'all know the difference between introvert and extrovert, right? Introvert is a person who really don't like to be around people. They get their energy being alone. Extrovert is a person who get their energy from being around others. Neither one is bad unless it's excessive. You don't feel like a whole person unless you got somebody standing next to you or around you. That's excessive. When you are constantly by yourself and you don't want to be around no people ever, anytime, that's excessive. You don't feel like socializing that much anymore. At this stage, it's more exhausting to interact with others, regardless of whether you are an introvert or extrovert or somewhere in between. We all have a standard comfort level when it comes to social interaction. If you feel yourself slipping below your comfort level, pay attention to it. Remember that even if it doesn't feel that way at the time, interacting with the right people can boost your mood. 10 signs your mental health is getting worse, 1 through 5. Number 4, you don't have a consistent sleep schedule. Man, sleep is important for our health. Sleep is important, man. Natural sleep is better than anything. I don't care if you're taking sleep aids, because when you wake up from your sleep aid, you still tired. You still lethargic. You ever felt like that? Took some Tylenol PMs and had to go somewhere the next day? And it's like you a zombie? Sleep, man, is important for your mental health because that's how your brain repairs itself. It ain't going to do that while you're woke. You have to go to bed. And you have to have a consistent sleep schedule, which means you can't just go to bed anytime you want and just wake up whenever you want. That ain't good enough. You have to put your body on a schedule, on a routine, and make sure you get at least 7 to 8 hours every night if you want to feel good. Now I'm back into my routine now, right? Because I'm making sure I go to bed on time and I wake up on time. But just those few days of not being on my routine had me feeling terrible. It helped me realize how much drinking my water in the morning is important. It helped me realize how important it is to make sure I eat something in the morning. When you have an irregular sleep schedule, this could signify increased stress in your life and a decline in your mental health. If you're struggling to regulate your sleep, you can try setting up a routine to wake up and go to bed at the same time every day. This will get your body back into its regular rhythm of sleep and wake cycles. Therefore, no longer causes sleep disturbance. 10 signs your mental health is getting worse, 1 through 5. Number 5, you always feel drained. I'm talking about now, if you ain't getting enough sleep and you ain't eating well, of course you're going to feel drained. But I'm talking about you're getting enough sleep. You're eating well and you still feel drained. Despite getting enough sleep and eating well, you constantly feel drained or exhausted. Mental exhaustion can set in when you are under long-term stress. And this type of exhaustion can make it feel like you are trying to drive with the emergency brake up. When you are this drained and constantly exhausted, you might struggle to get anything done. Healthline suggests, this is a website, Healthline, suggests practicing the attitude of gratitude and relaxation, yoga, as well as talking to a mental health professional to provide medication for you if it's needed. Treatment plans will look different for everyone, but regardless, there is a way that will work best for you to help pull yourself out of this funk of exhaustion. So, 10 signs your mental health is getting worse, 1 through 5. Number 1 is you're losing interest in little things. Number 2, you get overwhelmed easier. Number 3, you don't feel like socializing that much anymore. Number 4, you don't have a consistent sleep schedule, and that is so important, bro. And number 5, you always feel drained.
We all went through parts of that at one time or another.
When you get a warning or an opportunity to do something better, you need to take it. Get one life and we get one body, man. We got to take care of it. I wish I can be this man's age and walking around one day. To be 84 years old and walking around in your right mind, that's a blessing.